Hello, mathematicians. Today we are talking about strategies for multiplying any number by 5. That's right, any number by 5. And this all works out because 5 is a factor of 10. It's 10 divided by 2. And without waiting, let's get to it. Let's do an example. Let's say I have the number 14 and I want to multiply it by 5. Well, there are two just easy ways to do this. One is you can take 14, actually let me use another color here. You take 14 and instead of multiplying it by 5, you multiply it by 10, which is 2 times 5. Okay, and then you get the answer 140. And now all you're going to do is take this 140 and divide it by 2, and that's your answer. And 140 divided by 2, I know, is 70. As you get more familiar with math and number sense, you can look at a number that is a multiple of, that multiplies by 10, and, it ends in 0. So you can look at this number, which is 14 divided by 2, and add the 0. I don't know if you've already learned that. So that's just one strategy. Sometimes it's tough when the number doesn't evenly divide by 2, but again, as you practice and have more number sense, you will learn how to do that. And let's just do one as an example. Let's do 29 multiplied by 5. Okay. So we could use standard algorithm. We could use all the different tools that we know, and that might work very well for us. But let's say we just need to know it really fast, and we're pretty good at this method. Well, as I said, what we're going to do is we're going to take 29 and multiply it by 10 instead. That gives me 290. But 290, that's not always easy for people to just do in their head. I'll tell you how I do it. Basically, what I would do is I would say, okay, 29, I subtract 1, I subtract 1, that's 28, and I know 28 divided by 2 is 14. I know if I add half, 14.5, that's going to give me 29. Now, some of you might know that very quickly, some of you might not, but that's just another strategy. And so now my answer is going to actually be, what did I do here? So 29 times 10 is 290. I'm going to take 290 and I'm going to divide it by 2. If I divide it by 2, it's actually 145 because here we had 28. We divided it by 2. But we need to move the decimal point over. I hope I haven't lost you here. But like I said, this all takes practice, and this is meant to be just a quick introduction to this strategy. So what I have figured out is 29 times 5 is 145 using this method. And like I said, I went through that pretty quickly, and that's just one strategy. I'll show you the one that I prefer a little bit more. Okay, let's take the number, let's take the number 18 again and multiply it by 5. We already did that, but we'll do it again. Here's another strategy. Okay, you take the number that's being multiplied by 5. That's 9. And then you actually multiply it by 10, and the answer is 90. For me, that's actually a faster way of getting the answer. Again, you take the number that is being multiplied by 5, you divide it by 2, and then you multiply it by 10. And that'll give you the same answer. Cool, right? Let's do more examples using this method. Let me turn my color to blue. Let's take, 24 times 5. What is 24 times 5? 24 times 5 will be the same as 12 times 10 because we divide 24 by 2, and then we turn the 5 into the 10, and the answer is 120. Not bad, right? Now let me just tell you why this works. So when I have 24, what was it? Oh yeah, 24 times 5. That is actually the same as 12 times 2 times 5. And because of the associative property of multiplication, which you may have heard about or learned about, we are able to take this equation and say 12 times 2 times 5, where the parentheses here mean we would do this part first. Well, we can move those parentheses over, and again, because it doesn't matter with multiplication which order you do it in because of this associative property, as long as there are no other operations like addition or subtraction involved. You may learn that later. And look, so 12 times 2 times 5 is the same as 12 times 2 times 5, which is 10. And so we have 120. Now, same thing. What if a number doesn't evenly divide in half? Let's try one out. Okay, let's do 35 times 5. Okay, we're going to take my strategy for dividing numbers that don't evenly divide in half. You are going to take 35 and subtract 1. 30, subtract 1. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. 34. Now, I happen to know that half of 34 is 17, but then I'm going to add a 0.5. So now I know half of 35 is 17.5. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 35, divide it by half, which is 17.5, and I'm just going to multiply that by 10, and that gives me 175, and there's my answer. 35 times 5 equals wrong color there, equals 1, did it again? Let's go pink. 175. Voila. Well, I hope you found these little methods helpful. Maybe you already knew them. And so I hope you have fun with this strategy. Okay, mathematicians, until next time.